Hello, people. My name is Rohan. I'm the author of SuperSailor. We are today at Rohi Global Services, which is one of the hiring partners, one of the major hiring partners in Mumbai, India. And we are going to meet Mr. Vashal Verma, who's going to talk to us about the whole hiring process, the interviews, the offer letters, and everything in between. So let's go meet him.
Hi, my name is Marshall Verma and I'm the Managing Director of Rohi Global Services. Prior to being the Managing Director of Rohi Global Services, I was with V-Ships as a General Manager cum Director for their India business, Southeast Asia business, and for the V Manpower Group. I was there after the Head of Operations for Carnival Corporation, Carnival Support Services in India, and have now begun the journey of an entrepreneur with Rohi Global Services from the last 2 years. I have approximately 25 years of experience in managing cruise ships and other different types of vessels. I have been instrumental in managing and opening offices across the world for the group of V-Ships and have been instrumental in setting up systems.
About hiring partners, what's the process from the beginning to get a job with a hiring partner for the right ship?
So if you're embarking on a journey to be a part of the shipping industry, the first part is that you go and if you're looking at being a part of the cruise ship industry, then you need to first go to the Maritime Training Institute and apply for your INDOS. Earlier, you could apply for your INDOS by yourself or through agents and things like that. But now it's only mandated to be applied to Maritime Training Institute, which is approved by DG Shipping. So you seek counsel from your manning partner or your manning agency who is processing you. They will help you to go to the right place. There are approved Maritime Training Institutes across the country. You go to them, they will apply for your INDOS, and after they apply for your INDOS, they will start your STCW training. Basically, there are 5 basic training courses that you need to complete, and if you're joining a passenger cruise ship, then you have 2 more certifications to complete. In total, 7 certifications you would require to complete. After that, you report to your manning partner who will then assist you to get your Siemens book done, your visas done, your medicals done, and will then process you to join a particular ship in a particular port.
How many interviews are there and what kind of documents? You told us about the courses, but any additional documents you need, like your passport, your visas, anything else?
Yeah, of course, if you're going to be working on a ship, you need to have your passport. So passport is a mandatory document. Seaman book is a mandatory document. If you're joining a particular flag of the vessel, for example, if you're joining a ship that is registered in the Bahamas, then you require a Bahamas Seaman book. So the manning partner will help you to apply for this document and procure it for you. You have visas, of course, because you're joining ships in the US or you're joining ships in Europe. You would require to obtain a visa. The manning partner again will assist you and give you all the documents that are required to apply for the visa. And it's a very clean process. For the interviews, generally there are 3 levels or 3 rounds of interviews. First one is a more generic one, and written papers and psychometric evaluations are done. Second is a one-to-one with the hiring partner who then proposes you and says, yes, you are good for the job. And the third one could be with the client. If you're working with a manning partner, the third one will be with the client, or sometimes the manning partner is empowered to make the decision himself to hire. Most of the time, the manning partner should be having that decision to empower and to hire you.
Okay, where do the interviews take place? Is it online, offline? And if offline, where do they take place? On the office the ship's office or near the manning partner's office?
So whenever an interview happens for a job on board a cruise ship or any other ship, it will always be in the manning company's office. Uh, there have been some changes, and with social connects nowadays, we are able to do interviews offline and online as well. Uh, they do a lot of Skype interviews and things like that. But they will always, there will be no way where you would sit somewhere completely and not have a owner coming in and interviewing you, or a manning partner interviewing you. So you need to be very careful of not just being there without someone not interviewing you and saying you've got a job. Many times people get cheated because they just get an offer letter and say that you have got a job and you are on board and we're going to send you on board the cruise ship. It never happens like that. So you need to be interviewed. At least there should be 2 or 3 rounds minimum before someone selects you and puts you on board. Generally it will happen in the office. If it's online with Skype, the introductions will be very clear into who you're being interviewed by, for what position you're being interviewed. There will be job descriptions given to you. There will be a lot of technical questions that will be asked of you. There will be sometimes psychometric evaluations for higher positions. So there is a lot of stuff that happens during the interview sessions, and that will clearly give you an idea that it is genuine or not. Most of the unauthentic and interviews will just call you, tell you, yeah, we saw your profile online, very good profile, and we'll get you a job on the cruise ship. They have seen your CV, you've been shortlisted, and now your offer letter is coming to you. Such people you should avoid.
Psychometric test you have been telling us about, what does it include?
Psychometric test is basically an evaluation of your mental abilities and your social behaviors that can be picked up so that we know that it's the right fit for the position that you're being hired for. It's one of the most commonest things that are happening nowadays, where psychometric evaluations are happening, where we could be able to pick up small little traits with people who could be a misfit or who could be great for the job.
How does it relate to the ship or the community on the ship of seafarers? Like, is it about managing the team? Is it about how do you deal with problems, solutions?
So basically, a psychometric evaluation tells us that are you social in your interactions? Are you depressed, or you're mentally stable to be there? Are you a friendly person by nature? At what things you get angry or you don't get angry, what you like, dislike, and things like that, which help us to understand if you are a better fit. Because when you go on board a cruise ship or any ship, you are working with different nationalities. So are you able to manage culture? Are you able to integrate with different cultural people and respect them? So all this gets picked up in a psychometric evaluation. So that's the reason why this is a new thing, and a lot of companies and owners are now resorting to this sort of testing.
So as a beginner, for my first contract, how should I prepare for my interview with the manning partner or with the ship owner?
So when you are looking to join any company or any shipping industry, number one, you prepare technically for the role, what position you are applying for. So if you're a cook, you prepare all of your technical abilities to know about how to cook and different styles of cooking, continental, French cuisines and things like that. So you prepare technically on that. Secondly, you prepare about the company, about what you know about the company, how many ships they have, where are they applying, what's happening on their ships, what sort of people are on their ships. So you prepare that way. Thirdly, you prepare about do you really want to be on the ship? So are you friendly by nature? If you're friendly by nature, then you have an outgoing personality, then great, you should be giving this interview and preparing yourself. We also look for people who are solving problems, who can we give you a lot of examples or situations where we put you into and ask you what you would do in such situations. So that will sort of help you to understand if you're in a position, how do you react to that position. So prepare yourself in all this. Basically, you need to be a team player, you need to have a great attitude. a smile on your face always, and you are customer oriented. Technicals we can still groom you and bring you up to the, but we can't change your attitude, we can't change your inner things. So if you're a great have a great outgoing personality, and you have people connect, and you have a great attitude, yeah, we want to see you on board a cruise ship.
So what language is most important while an interview is taking place? Can I also include my regional language in it?
No. So if you want to work on an international cruise ship or an international cargo ship, anywhere, whichever ship you want to join, English is the only and mandatory language that you need to be fluent in. If you have other languages, European languages or foreign languages, then that's an added advantage. However, English is the minimum basic requirement for you to get on board a cruise ship. Also, you need to be minimum 10 standard pass to be on board ships these days.
Can you just give us some examples of what questions might be asked to check my attitude or behavioral tendencies, or if I'm outgoing, not outgoing? Apart from the technical questions, what questions can be asked?
Yeah, so there are a lot of hundreds of questions that a person could ask, and it is depending on each interviewer, and you can't really prepare for these questions because there are thousands of questions that one could ask. So giving away one question and saying this is a common question that will come up, it will never come up. But what we really look for is how you interact, how is your English language skills, are you able to converse and hold a conversation, can you talk on different topics, or explain yourself well. We look for people who are able to just make conversations and help people enjoy. So it's basically a customer centric focused interview where we check if you can converse and hold a conversation, if you can solve problems, if you're a team player, would you be able to help people if there are lesser number of people on the shift for the day and someone has fallen sick and you've got twice the work that you were supposed to be doing, and how would you help and how would you manage in those situations. So all these things sort of come out during the interview, and there is no right answer to any of the questions that are asked, because the right answers are what you give us, but we try to see if that's what we are looking for, and if we are looking for those things, then we will probably get hired.
So are the parameters for hiring different for merchant navy and passenger cruises?
Yes, there are different hiring parameters if you want to get into the cargo ship and if you want to get into a cruise ship. And there are different parameters if you're getting in as a rating and if you're getting as an officer. So you need to look at these things. And of course, if you come to any of the manning partners and ask them for direction and help, more or less everyone are willing to guide and to help. Minimum 12 standard pass is required if you're getting into the officer category on a cargo ship, entering as a deck cadet. You need to be a mechanical degree in mechanical holder if you want to get onto the engine side of a cargo ship. You'll require minimum 10 standard and a pre-sea training if you want to get on the rating side of a cargo ship. And you'll require minimum 10 standard pass and a hotel management degree, or working in a 5-star hotel for minimum 2 or 3 years if you want to get onto a cruise ship.
What are the common things you can ask in an interview to both cruise ship and cargo ship aspiring seafarers?
Again, there's no something set round of questions that we ask. Besides, the technical questions are very specific towards the job position that you're applying for. Others are all common questions to understand your attitude, your social behavior skills, and if you're more suited to be and stay away from the family for so long. So that's some things that we try to pick up during an interview.
Is there any particular dress code for interviews?
Of course, if you're coming for an interview, always ensure that you're formally dressed. That gives you great points. Well groomed, shaved well, groomed well, preferably a tie or a jacket for an interview, that enhances your personality and allows people to see that you are genuinely interested if you're coming on board a cruise ship. For cargo ships, I still feel that you could come in with more informal dress wearing, but even if you wear a formal dress for a cargo interview, it shows that how great a personality or a person you are. So my preference and good marks always go to someone who's well groomed and who's come well dressed in a blazer or a tie for an interview.
Any particular documents I should carry for the interview?
You should always carry all your original certificates, including your birth certificate, your education certificates, your professional qualifications, your reference letters, if you worked on a cruise ship before or you have worked on a cargo ship, appraisals from the ship, your passport, your seaman book if you don't have, if you have STCW courses, carry all of them. So basically you carry all your original certificates, your complete file, so that someone who's interviewing you could make a very good decision seeing your documents, because a lot of documents, a lot of times we give a lot of importance to the documents and the reference letters. So it's good to carry that instead of saying, I left it at home and I couldn't find it. So carry all your original documents with you.